Yeah, I played baseball all the way growing up. I loved it, and I got to know the umpires, my local Little League, really well. And they said when I was older, I could start umpiring. I was looking for a part-time job, so I picked it up, and I loved it. It was a great part-time job. I got to be outside, surrounded by the game of baseball, and make money while doing it, while giving back to the same community that I grew up playing in. So it was an amazing job. But my little league had huge umpire shortage problems, and that was a problem that I'd kind of experienced throughout all of my life. And every time that I would talk to kids who were my age, who played baseball, who could be umpires, they didn't realize that they could become umpires themselves. So 2 years ago, with my iPhone and my little brother as my cameraman, I went out to the same Little League baseball field where I'd been playing and umpiring all of my life, and I made a video about why being an umpire is a great part-time job. I posted that on the Umpire channel, and the first video got 300,000 views, and we've kept growing ever since then. As an umpire, it's been just a slow learn. You only know so much, and just every person that you talk to, you learn more and more. And there are so many things that I didn't know that if I did, I could have done it a lot. I could have moved up a lot faster. I could have been much better, much earlier. And that's part of what I want to develop the channel, because I can compile all this information into one place where, when I was going to umpire when I was 16, the night before I was looking up, how do I umpire? What gear do I need? Where do I stand? All of that. And there wasn't much coming up. It's been just amazing getting to step out on the field in front of 45,000 fans. I got to umpire at Fenway Park and Sign the Green Monster, Nats Park, where I grew up going to games and fell in love with baseball. So getting to travel around and see the impact that they have, see how much kids care about what they're doing, have kids coming up and asking for pictures and autographs and telling me that they umpire and they've been umpiring for a year because they saw the channel. And just getting to go all around with the Bananas has been just, again, like nothing else.
And now, episode 7, letter G, Gumption. Join hosts Dana Pappas and Nate Acosta with special guest Noah Katz on the From A to Zebra podcast.
Welcome back to the From A to Zebra podcast. I'm Dana Pappas, back again with my awesome co-host, Nate Acosta. Today we are visiting with a guest who has taken the social media world by storm on Instagram, TikTok, and X with his unique view of officiating.
On today's episode, we are covering the letter G, and our special guest will be talking with us about gumption. Gumption can be defined as spirited, initiative, and resourcefulness. And today's guest is a true example of that.
Our guest today is Noah Katz, who is the founder and CEO of TheUmpireChannel. Noah has been playing baseball since the age of 13 and began umpiring at the age of 16. He saw firsthand the umpire shortage and started the Umpire channel as a way of showing a behind-the-scenes glimpse into umpiring. Noah has close to 200,000 followers on social media, on Instagram and TikTok, with over 100 million views across all platforms.
Noah, dude, welcome to the show, man. Before we get started, though, topic of the day, please tell us about the Umpire channel. What is it? Why did you start it? How did it happen?
For sure. Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. So yeah, I played baseball all the way growing up. I loved it, and I got to know the umpires, my local Little League, really well. And they said when I was older, I could start umpiring. I was looking for a part-time job, so I picked it up, and I loved it. It was a great part-time job. I got to be outside, surrounded by the game of baseball, and make money while doing it, while giving back to the same community that I grew up playing in. So it was an amazing job. But my little league had huge umpire shortage problems, and that was a problem that I'd kind of experienced throughout all of my life. And every time that I would talk to kids who were my age, who played baseball, who could be umpires, they didn't realize that they could become umpires themselves. So 2 years ago, with my iPhone and my little brother as my cameraman, I went out to the same Little League baseball field where I'd been playing and umpiring all of my life, and I made a video about why being an umpire is a great part-time job. I posted that on the Umpire channel, and the first video got 300,000 views, and we've kept growing ever since then.
Wait. 300,000 on the first video?
Yep, 300,000.
That is amazing.
Dude, that's insane. And how old is your little brother?
He is now 15, so he'd be 13 at that point.
He was 13. Oh, okay. So okay. I was hoping that maybe it was like some 8-year-old little brother following you around and 300,000 views. I mean, that would have been kind of cool.
I mean, still really cool. Let's not diminish that. That's pretty amazing. Which social media channel was that on? Was that YouTube, or where was that posted?
The first video was on TikTok. So TikTok started to work pretty well at the start. We were up to 20,000 followers on TikTok in 2 weeks. And then over time, it started to grow on Instagram, on YouTube, and kept going to now where we have 250,000 followers overall. And it's really grown an amazing audience.
Is it weird that I am like starstruck right now? Like, how that is super impressive. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited right now. I just love what you do, and we're gonna get into kind of the meat and potatoes of everything. But I had the honor of meeting Noah this past summer at the National Association of Sports Officials Summit in July in Atlanta. And Noah, you were an instant hit with everyone in attendance. You would have thought that Noah was the keynote speaker. I thought people were going to ask him for autographs. It was pretty cool to see everybody's response. So, I got to see it from my side of things. So what was really your favorite part of the summit, and how did you feel when you were presenting to the who's who of the officiating industry on that stage?
Definitely. I really enjoyed it. I had kind of started to talk to a bunch of different people who were at that summit while I was developing the channel, but to have everyone in one place, everyone who so valued the officiating industry and were putting so much effort to moving it forward, it was a really cool experience. And then to be able to be on the stage and present in front of everyone, it just kind of brought together everything that I'd been doing and put it into a few days of really pushing everything so much forward. And it was just an incredible experience.
It was, it was amazing. You were like an old pro up there. Like you were poised and confident, and everybody was just like, who is this guy and where can I clone him and have a whole army of them? Like it was a cool experience to just witness it.
And it was one of the summits that I hadn't attended, so I didn't get to see that. But can you explain to me what was it that you presented on? What did you talk about?
Definitely. So I presented for the Innovation Summit. As part of the summit were a bunch of different people who had different businesses and nonprofits in the officiating industry were talking about what they're doing. And I presented on the Umpire channel. I told people about the story behind it, how it got started, where it's grown today, and where we hope to go in the future in working with major sports organizations like the NFHS, like Major League Baseball, the NCAA, and told people about how I'd like to work with them to further push the officiating industry in the right direction and get more people interested in officiating.
And what was their response to that?
It was really positive. People really enjoyed it, and since then I've connected with a lot of different officials in different sports, and we have a lot of plans to film with NHL and NFL referees, NBA, as well as work with a lot of amazing companies in the industry.
So you're able to network and kind of get involved, and man, that's cool. And so who's all working? Cool. Yeah, and it kind of leads into my next question, but how did you assemble your team? Who is on your team, and what are you, how is that all working out now since the summit?
Definitely. Yeah, so from the start, it was pretty much just me. Sometimes my little brother would come and record, but since then I've started to grow my team. Have someone at Clark, his name is Moses. He's on the cross-country team with me, and he started to come and film a lot with me. We'll travel out, and we'll film in different places, and we're starting to build a team. Some people here at my college, some people all around the country who are doing different smaller things on the channel. So we're starting to kind of build out the back end of what we're doing and be able to put out a lot more content.
And have you seen people from the community wanting to help and volunteer their time or add resources? Obviously, stuff like this takes some financial responsibility. Have you seen some help from the officiating community or even just the public?
Definitely. Yeah, we get a lot of reach outs both from just individual people, from organizations. We'll have college umpires in the area who are reaching out and saying, we have this amazing local college board. You should come out to a game and highlight our experiences. We'll have different pro sports teams inviting us out to come film at their games and highlight their officials, and companies who are looking to do sponsorships with us and help highlight what they're doing and how what they're doing can benefit other sports officials. So, yeah, we've had a really positive response, and I think we're just getting started.
Just wow. I keep saying wow a lot, and I can see it on Nate's face too. Yeah. That was my reaction. So that actually great segue as our minds are blown.
Real quick though, but before that, Dana, like why I'm so mind blown, right, is that there are administrators and people like you and I that have worked our entire careers to try to find a way to advocate, to promote, to excite people about officiating. And with one TikTok video, you just come out swinging, and you're about to change the game for all of us. You have done in one TikTok post that we have been trying our entire career to do, and we're talking, we show up to all the summits, we show up to all the meetings and the state association meetings and NCAA clinics and everything else, and we're all talking about how can we bring people into officiating, how can we promote this thing. And we try things and try, fail, and then here you go, and bam. And so I'm just, dude, I am mind blown right now. Mind blown.
We are fans now. And that's the thing. We always talk about, man, if I could just bottle that and figure out you bottled it. You really did. We talk about that magic pill. I think you made it, my man. That's just unbelievable.
Well, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this is amazing, and Nate and I are trying to figure out how we can become, for me, 30 years younger, so I can go back and redo everything, because wow. So it leads us right into our word of the day, which is gumption. And when I met Noah, gumption was really one of the first words I thought of to describe you, and the second word was actually moxie. So you also have a ton of that, which I absolutely love. So I've been able to follow you on social media, and I'm just in awe of everything that you're doing. It looks like you're really traveling very frequently, and you're meeting officials at all levels of sport, and really all sports as well. So how important has having gumption been in your Umpire channel endeavor?
Definitely. Yeah, well, it's everything, It's this isn't something that's easy to do. It's not something that's really been done before. So there wasn't really a model of how do I reach out to MLB umpires to try and film with them? How do I reach out to the NBA and the WNBA? What does content look like about sports officials? So it was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of reach outs, a lot of slow build towards something that I saw could be done. But in the end, if you believe what you're doing is important, that it can have an impact, and every day you work as hard as you can for it, then eventually you'll get to where you want to be. And I think we're definitely on our way to getting there.
No doubt about that. I talked to you as you were coming on, and you're in college. You have that responsibility, and I know Nate's gonna get into with you the fact that you're still working. I'm just in awe, because every day I look online, you've posted something else. I'm like, how does he do it? Does he sleep? I don't know. But Nate, you're going to kind of lead us right into that conversation.
Well, yeah, and to go back to you said it's a slow build-up. I don't know that anything you've done is actually slow. Absolutely not. But, man, when you say slow build-up, I mean, what's been the response from the WNBA or the NBA? Have they been pretty receptive? Are you still trying to break that?
Definitely. Yeah, I think overall everyone's been super, super perceptive. Sometimes it can take a little bit of time to reach out. Sometimes, if I want to do college, or if I want to do, NFL, and I haven't done any football yet, well, maybe I want to start in, do some D1 football, which is what I've been doing and I just did, and, have videos that I can show to them when I'm reaching out to them, asking about doing, a day in the life of an NFL referee. So I can show that, this has the track record, and, these few videos with D1 football referees got, 2 million views. I think if we work together, we can do something really special. So in that regard, somewhat of a slow build, but it's been very fast, and we've grown an amazing community, and we've been able to have really positive responses from the NBA, the MLB, the WNBA, many other sports organizations where we've been able to film videos which have garnered millions of views, and from those videos received hundreds and hundreds of messages from people who are now interested in officiating and in treating officials better.
Have you had any pushback? And you don't have to tell us like who's pushback, because obviously we don't want to put them in that situation. But have you had any pushback? Like, no, have you had no's?
We've had more, like scheduling issues. Like, we're gonna wait a month or two because the season's just getting started, or a game got rained out that we were planning for a month, and okay, now we actually don't have a good time for the next 2 months. So, that kind of stuff, the scheduling stuff, finding the best dates, that can definitely take a lot of time. But as far as pushback, not really in that sense.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that is great. I mean, and you just talked about it, scheduling and timing. And, Dana and I and Ed are working on, just scheduling these podcasts. And there's a lot of moving factors, our jobs, our officiating schedules, and everything else. And so how are you balancing, everything that you do with not only going to school, but also officiating? Because you are an active official, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So how is that working?
Definitely. So it can be pretty difficult. Sometimes we're flying out every week. Sometimes we're flying out 2 times a week. We're traveling all over. Like I said, sometimes scheduling things can be pretty difficult and pretty last minute. So, it can be tough. It comes down to trying to effectively strategize as much as I can. I've tried to build my class schedule in a strategic way, put my classes more in the middle of the week so I can fly out towards the end of the week trying to, here's a tournament. I'm going to go umpire and I'm going to go create content so I can all, do it at once. So it's been tough, but we've been able to make it work. And I think we're just getting started.
Wow. So totally off topic as you're talking about your classes. What are you majoring in?
Marketing.
Oh, that makes sense. I really need to ask that question, but yeah, that tracks. So that's amazing. So you're a full-time student, you're officiating, and you've created this social media empire. That's I feel like an underachiever today, but that's okay. So you inspire me. So as you've gone through this whole process, talking about gumption and talking about kind of overcoming challenges, what have been some of the challenges that you've faced, first of all, as an umpire, and then secondly, in developing your online platform and presence?
Yeah, as an umpire, it's been, just a slow learn. You only know so much, and just every person that you talk to, you learn more and more. And there are so many things that I didn't know that if I did, I could have done it a lot. I could have moved up a lot faster. I could have been much better, much earlier. And that's part of what I want to develop the channel, because I can compile all this information into one place where, when I was going to umpire when I was 16, the night before I was looking up, how do I umpire? What gear do I need? Where do I stand? All of that. And there wasn't much coming up. Now there is stuff that comes up. So it was definitely slow to learn everything, to connect with the right people, to see how it works. And then as far as developing the channel, again, it was in some ways slow, and no one's ever done it before. So who even is the right person to reach out to talk about filming with college basketball officials? Who's the right person at the NBA and the WNBA? So it was finding those people and just being absolutely relentless in continuing to reach out, continuing to post videos, and people seeing those videos, and a very exponential build over time, where as it goes, more people are finding out about the channel and seeing the impact it can make, and it just makes things easier and easier as it goes.
It's awesome. Awesome.
Man, dude, I'm sitting here thinking of how I can connect you to another, training camp, or another one of my coordinators, or, and I'm telling you right now, I mean, I don't know if you listened to episode 2 with Violet, and she's got our staff camp, and she's got basics training, and then there's Penny Davis that has referee school, and I'm just talking about things that I'm involved in. And man, it would be amazing if you could just fly out and hang out, because I think that the idea is to showcase what individuals are doing around the country, and you're doing it. And so because I'm involved in those things, but there's somebody out there, around the country that's doing something similar. And so if, I'm going to give you my number, because this summer you're going to be busy and we're going to fly you out, and hold on, flying, because in my career, like my job, I fly,
Yeah.
And so, have you picked an airline yet? You don't have to tell me what airline.
Yeah,
Did you listen to episode 2?
Some of it, yeah.
Okay, so at the very end, my boss, Violet Palmer, talks about, picking, especially at your age, right? Pick an airline and stick with it.
Get those points.
Get those miles, get those points. Right now, start that.
I like it.
But, your travel, like, how's that going?
Yeah, it's going really well. I probably should have picked an airline sooner at the start. I didn't think I was going to be traveling this much, and it's also a lot of random flights. One weekend we're going to Montgomery, Alabama, the next weekend Kalamazoo, Michigan, and a bunch of different places. But yeah, it's been really good. It's been cool. I've gotten to see places that I'd never seen before and meet officials and people involved in sports from all over the country. So it's been one of the best parts about what I've done.
Do you have people that help you with your travel?
No, I don't.
So you book your flights, you book your hotels,
Oh my gosh.
Everything else.
So you're a travel agent on top of everything else you're doing. That's
Yeah.
You must
Sometimes,
have more hours in the day than I have, because you're super productive.
yeah, try to maximize it, try to always be working, but yeah, it's a lot of work, so it can be tough for sure.
So I have to ask you a question that's totally off topic, but ever since I saw it on your channel, I just Savannah Bananas. How was that experience? Because I've only ever seen them online. I've never seen them in person. What was that like? Because they've become such a hit with everyone, whether you're a baseball fan or not. Everybody loves some Savannah Bananas. Tell me about that, because I'm personally curious.
Yeah, it's an experience unlike any other. It's been incredible. I've gotten to umpire a lot this season for the Bananas. I've now done 10 games, and I've gotten to umpire at 4 MLB stadiums.
That's so cool.
It's been just amazing getting to step out on the field in front of 45,000 fans. I got to umpire at Fenway Park and Sign the Green Monster, Nats Park, where I grew up going to games and fell in love with baseball. So getting to travel around and see the impact that they have, see how much kids care about what they're doing, have kids coming up and asking for pictures and autographs and telling me that they umpire and they've been umpiring for a year because they saw the channel. And
That's
just
amazing.
getting to go all around with the Bananas has been just again like nothing else.
So which other major league ballparks have you umpired at?
I've done Fenway, Washington, Cleveland, and Miami this year.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh, what an amazing experience. I can't even imagine, because you started umpiring so young, and I think if officials get into it, everybody has some aspirations as far as like, where do I see myself? Did you honestly, at 13 years old, did you see yourself working a game at Fenway? That's a legendary, sorry, Nate's a Yankees fan, so I'm sorry I keep bringing up Fenway, but did you ever think that like that was possible? Because that's such a big dream.
No, I didn't think at the start of the year that was possible. It was it all happened very quick. Again, it all built on itself very quick, and yeah, to step out on that field and really feel like a big leaguer for a day.
So
it was
cool.
just it was really special.
So
Yeah.
cool.
So you've started to do some college football stuff, and like, of some of the officials that you've met, like, who's somebody that stands out and you're just like, man, that person is who I aspire to be. That's who I want to be like. I mean, you can drop their name, because we want to know who they are.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are so many amazing officials. It's hard to pick, but someone who really stands out to me is Robert Holloway. He was the director for baseball umpires in the SWAC conference, And I went out first to the Minute Maid Classic, and then to the HBCU College World Series. And what stood out to me was how good of a teacher he was. He really cared about his umpires. He really was there to help them get better. He just was really there for them. And that really stood out for me, and it made me feel really good to be there and highlighting his officials.
That's awesome. So as we're talking about that, it made me think about it because Nate and I talk a lot about mentorship and how important that is in the retention of officials. As you started in at the age of 13, who was your mentor, or do you have a mentor? Because we're all about giving shout outs to our mentors on here. Who was that person who you really kind of took you under their wing and showed you the ropes?
Yeah, I got to umpire in the same Little League that I grew up playing in, and I got to umpire side by side with the same umpires I grew up playing under. So that was really cool, and they were amazing mentors to me, showing me and answering all the questions that I had about what umpire gear do I use and where do I go and how do I manage the games. There also happened to be a former MLB umpire named Al Clark who actually lived in my hometown. And he's
Oh,
been
nice.
another amazing mentor. Talked, and every time I'm home, we'll go out for lunch, and he's been super helpful throughout all of my umpiring journey.
That is so cool. Wow.
I do have I am starstruck by one umpire from my hometown, and when this airs, I believe it'll be during the World Series, and this gentleman will be working the World Series, and
Wow.
so I'm super. Even though I'm a Yankees fan, at the end of the day, like, man, I'm so pumped that I get to watch somebody that I look up to growing up, as just somebody that kind of worked his way through, and that's Doug Eddings. He's currently working the World Series right now, and so that's going to be a cool thing to see, and it's going to be one of the most iconic World Series of all time, Yankees, Dodgers, it doesn't get any better than that. And so that's the one thing is as officials, we're fans, but we're even bigger fans of officials. And so I don't even think I will root for the Yankees this World Series because all eyes are going to be on Doug, right? Like I hope he does well. I hope, when he gets his plate game, he's going to be, nails, and I'm super excited, and so this is cool, man.
And I think, Noah, what you're doing, as Nate's talking about that, like the Umpire Channel is giving people the ability to be fans of officials. And anybody who's been in officiating knows that sometimes officials don't have a lot of fans. So the fact that you're going behind the scenes and you're doing all of this stuff and really humanizing who the officials are, and what you're doing is it's educational, but it's fun and it's lighthearted, and you do such a great job of just presenting it. And it's been such a joy to look at what you're doing and see how I don't know if it needed to grow, but it's still growing. It's such a neat experience because it is a glimpse into a world that not a lot of people know about. So the fact that you had the vision, first of all, and the desire, secondly, to do this on top of all of your other life obligations, like I can't commend you enough. I can't thank you enough as somebody whose entire career has been in officiating. What you're doing is necessary, and you've done it in a way that connects with younger generations. You've used platforms that younger people look at, and like you said, it develops some empathy for officials, which is critical. I don't know. My head, like, as you've been talking, I'm taking notes of ways that I need to get you involved. Like, I'm not utilizing you, and I need to. There's a lot of stuff.
Well, and Noah, I'm telling you, like, there is a disconnect, especially at the high school level, and that's where, Dana has done a really good job in her career of not only connecting high school officials, to their state associations, but now that she, and that was stuff that she was doing in New Mexico, and now that she's at the National Federation, she has the opportunity to meet folks like yourself and really connect, all officiating communities, and so this is I knew you were a big deal, and now that we're on this thing, I'm just sitting here going, man, there's something big about this.
Yeah.
There's something really big about this, and I don't know what it is, but you're changing the game, and more than anything like that excites me, right? I mean, and so I think that excites Dana and I.
Absolutely.
Because our entire careers, we have tried to find ways that just excite people. Obviously, what is it? Excite, elevate, educate, right? But man, it's huge. But to kind of change back to your officiating, right? I mean, it's cool that you do things for other people, but what about you? What are some of your goals? What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve as an official?
Yeah, so as an official, I'm still figuring it out. I'm just in my junior year of college, so couldn't pursue a professional career if I wanted to yet. So still seeing if that's something I'm going to end up doing. We'll see. For now, just enjoying combining the channel with officiating, umpiring in different places, the Savannah Bananas, college ball, high school, Little League, wherever I can, and just really enjoying it.
So have you ever thought about doing other sports?
Yeah, I have, especially now that I've gotten to see see the behind the scenes of officiating in other sports. Definitely raises my interest. So I'm definitely open to maybe trying out some football. Well, we'll see, but maybe some basketball. So that could definitely be something interesting to do in the future.
I love that. And those multi-sport officials, man, I'll tell you what, that's some of the best recruiting we can do is the people who are already working. How do we get them to pick up another sport? Because if you can officiate, it makes that other sport easy. Like, how to officiate. Now just go apply it to something else. Learn those rules, and you're going to be in good shape. So I love hearing that you might have your interest piqued about another sport. That's awesome.
For sure.
Do you see yourself doing this after you graduate college? Is this something, or do you continue to just highlight and promote officials, or I mean, do you want to be a major league umpire?
Yeah, potentially. Again, still not 100% sure. Still figuring it out, but I could definitely be interested in it. Still gotta wait and see where that goes, but definitely interested in combining the two for a long time, and we'll see where it ends up.
Man, I'm rooting for you and everything that you do. Like your passion is amazing. Your enthusiasm is contagious. I can see, like, Nate and I go back a long time, and I can see how excited he is just in the way he's, like, his facial expressions. You have a way with rejuvenating people with regard, those of us who have been in for a long time, like rejuvenating us, but also exciting people that may not know anything about officiating, and that what you're doing is powerful. Like, I hope you, at night before you go to bed, I hope you understand the difference that you're making, because it's tremendous. And I'm just, like, you and I just met in July, and I'm just so proud of you, and I love what you're doing for the officiating industry, because you've figured it out. And I've been doing this almost 30 years, and I haven't figured it out. So it's just, I applaud you. I have so many thoughts in my head right now.
I really
it's good stuff.
And it really is neat, though. It is, because, I mean, just like any social media or TikTok, you don't really know who's going to go viral. You don't know who's going to just take off. And these individuals that have that platform and take off, they can either use it for something positive or they can use it for something negative. And you've chosen to use that one TikTok, that just took off as something that's changed the game. And so, I challenge other folks out there to really, Dana and I are TikTok famous too. We had a couple TikToks out there that were like,
we did. They were big.
We had like 40 views, maybe, I think was our highest.
No, we had like 400 on one. Don't sell us short. I mean, that was a big day. I was feeling good. I thought we were influencers for a second there, but then I realized we weren't.
We were not. But
we were not. We tried.
We tried.
We had fun.
We had a blast, but it's that passion it's really going to take off. And so, yeah, she's right. Like, absolutely, we get on this thing, and I can tell you that we've been on with some really cool people, and I have not been this excited. Sorry for our other guests. Noah's got it. You guys are missing something. You know, I've looked up to all of you, but Noah's got it, and it's like, I'm pumped. I am so excited about the stuff that you're doing, and it's great.
And that was one of those things when I met Noah and he gave me his business card. That was one of those, I need to put this somewhere safe. Like, I don't want to lose touch with this person because, you know, to see the reaction of people at that summit and to know that I wasn't alone and feeling like, man, we need more Noahs in this industry. We need a lot more Noahs because there's only one of you and you're doing huge work. I want to see this train keep going. And certainly Nate and I'll do anything we can to support you because it's important work that you're doing. And it's fun. Like, you're showing the fun. You're showing, you know, we always talk about how do you make officiating cool? Like, no one thinks officiating is cool. How do you make it cool? You're making it cool, which is something that I didn't think anybody would ever be able to do. So thank you for doing that. It's like, yeah, let's make officiating cool because it is. Like, it's a fun thing, and you build these lifelong friendships. We get to meet people like you. I mean, in no other life would I have gotten to meet you, Noah. So I think that that's what makes officiating special, is those connections that we wouldn't have otherwise made.
Definitely. And I'm with you, Nate. We're excited. There's so many kids out there who, they play baseball, they play football, they play basketball, and they're looking for a part-time job. They're looking for something that's flexible, where they can do something that they actually enjoy, and this can be it. And I think there's so much we can do to show them how to do it and then connect them so they can actually get started doing it. And I think we've had a lot of success so far. We've had a lot of people who've gotten started in officiating, and we're just getting started. There are a lot of kids out there.
So what are some future goals for you? With the Umpire channel, like, some changes that you're making? What are you doing different? Has it sparked some new ideas and what you want to do?
Yeah, I think our goal is to be the biggest source for social media content about sports officials. We are, but it's to really expand on that and build with these major organizations like the MLB, like the NCAA, the NFL, NFHS, to film at the major events, film and show the stories of officials, show who they are, show why it's an amazing part-time job. And I think by continuing to, expand who we're working with and develop these, long-term partnerships with these major organizations, we'll be able to help so many more people get interested in officiating and then become officials.
Man, it's just, I'm seldom speechless, Noah, but you got me there. I'm so impressed. And I'm thinking about with the NFHS and getting you involved in that capacity. And I know we've got some meetings coming up that we need to get scheduled in that regard, because that voice, your voice is important, and it needs to be heard, and it needs to be heard by state associations. It needs to be heard by local groups. And I think everybody in this industry could use that shot in the arm that you're providing. And that's what you are. You're like instant adrenaline and excitement. And I just, I need to rewatch this after the fact and take more notes and figure out what we can do. And I know Nate's probably feeling the same way, but I'm kind of trying to think. We talked a little bit about like Savannah Bananas and some of your other experiences. Do you have, from all the stuff that you've been doing, do you have like a favorite moment yet? An encounter with somebody that was really kind of stands out to you, or a game that you got to work or be a part of? Is there like a favorite moment that you have to this point? Because I know there's going to be more that come in the future, but just curious as of now.
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one, but if I had to go with one, it would be umpiring at Fenway Park. That was exactly 2 years ago since I'd started the channel, and getting to step out, that was my first big league stadium with the Bananas. Just getting to step out there in front of so many fans and then encounter so many fans who had seen the channel, and many of them had actually started umpiring themselves. They would connect at the game, and then after they were sending me pictures on Instagram from their first game umpiring. They were asking me questions about what mask to get and how do I umpire at higher levels of travel ball, and how do you do college and all of that. So I think that moment was a really cool culmination of everything that I had done up until that point.
That's awesome. And I noticed recently you've even done some, like, here's the kind of equipment you should use. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because you're doing a lot as far as educating people about officials, but now you're doing some stuff with educating officials about what to wear. Where did that come from?
Yeah, we're kind of trying to address the questions that we're getting from our audience. We're seeing in our comments, how do you call strike three? What is the kind of hat or mask that you need? So these kind of niche things that you wouldn't think would get a lot of attention. Our video about how to call strike three has 3 million views. Our video about what hat you need as an umpire has 2 million views. So people are it's actually really interesting. I think a lot of officiating is really interesting to people. They just haven't had a way to kind of consume it before. So I think we're definitely trying to expand into that and answer.
That is awesome. I love that.
My favorite strike three is the ripcord round. Ha! Right?
That was that accurate? Was that good? Did you like what Nate just did there?
That was pretty good.
You like that?
Get it back. I love it.
I'm making Noah evaluate you, Nate. Like I need his expertise.
I work for a coordinator that talks about pop, right? We pop our signals. 22. Hit. And so you gotta add that little pop.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta get it in.
That's cool.
Noah, I need to connect you with him.
Oh, I appreciate it.
No, he's talking about me.
Okay. All right. So Noah, unfortunately, we have to come to a close. You're a busy guy, and man, I could talk to you for like the next 3 days. Tonight. So yeah, I know. He's in his dorm room. We're interrupting his college schedule. God. Yeah. But so Nate, I don't know. Do you want to kind of lead him to the last?
Yep. And no, we talk about educate, elevate, excite. Give us some last words of wisdom. Tell our viewers what they need to do, not only to follow you and the Umpire channel, because we want to go from your followers now, and we want to double that. We want to help you double that, because when you double it, it helps us. And so give us some final thoughts.
Definitely. Well, thanks for having me. This has been amazing. You can follow the Umpire channel at the Umpire channel on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere, or theUmpireChannel.com. We would love to connect with you, and I think at the essence of what we do is that officiating is an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing for so many reasons in so many different situations. Whether you want to pursue a full-time career, whether you're a 16-year-old kid who's doing it as a part-time job. And I love officiating, and I want to spread the word as much as humanly possible. So I hope more and more people will follow the channel, and we can continue to spread the good word about officiating, because there's really a lot of good words to spread.
I agree. Noah Katz, you have 2 huge fans right now. I think 3 if you count our producer. Just thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for what you're doing for the industry. And I'm so glad we made the connection in July, and we'll continue to connect. I think we've got some work to do together, and I'm excited to see where we can help you, and where, like Nate said, you're doing things that you're helping us. You're helping all of us, and you're helping little leagues, and you're helping high school, and you're helping college. You're changing this industry, and it's pretty amazing. So thank you so much for your time, and not just tonight, but all the time when you're out traveling. And if there's ever anything that Nate and I can do for you, please let me know. I'll get you Nate's contact information. And he's a Division I basketball referee himself, so if you ever need some D1 basketball stuff, reach out to Nate, and he could get you connected as well. So Noah, thanks for joining us. Nate, any parting words for our amazing guest, who has you and I both a little flustered and wheels turning?
Right? Man, I haven't been this starstruck since going to Rastatter and Schofield's camp the first time. And so, dude, keep doing what you're doing and keep rocking it. And man, if I had your gumption, and I have your gumption, I just never was able to find, that niche, right? And so keep rocking it, dude. But if you ever need anything, let me know.
All right, Noah Katz, thank you so much. Follow him on all of social media, the Umpire channel. It will be worth your while. If you're not following him yet, You better do it right now. Thanks for joining us, Noah. Have a great rest of your semester. Have a great season coming up, all the stuff that you're doing, and be safe out there. And thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Next week, join us for episode 8, letter H. We will sit down with the founder of Officially Human, Brenda Hilton, and we'll be covering the word human. We'll be discussing the importance of humanizing sports officials at every level. Thanks again for joining us. Check us out on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X to find episode recaps and previews of upcoming episodes. See you next week.
Be sure to hit that like button, follow, subscribe, and also catch From A to Zebra on Instagram at from_A_2_zebra, Facebook, From A to Zebra Podcast, and on X at From A to Zebra.